What's a harsh reality that everybody needs to hear? Your life can be changed forever in the blink of an eye. You have to deal with it or die. I'm 62. I went to run errands one day with my beautiful wife of 42 years, and I came home 2 hours later a widower. She died of a massive heart attack in the passenger seat. That was about 13 months ago. It's been hard, but I'm still here thanks to some wonderful people in my life. It won't just happen. I spent a lot of my early 20s being sad and defeatist, feeling sorry for myself. I always coped with this by telling myself that I'd make something of myself eventually, and meet a woman eventually, and be happy eventually. The truth is, eventually doesn't come if you don't make it come. Improvement has to be proactive. You can end up 40 years old, living with your parents, playing video games all day, and with no motivation. Nothing will prevent that from happening other than you. Physical appearance matters. Almost everyone is shallow, and if you are ugly, people might treat you as inferior and you will have disadvantages in almost every aspects of life. That is pretty privilege or halo effect. Look that up. As an ugly person, I confirm. It's a Star Trek reference, but it's a very realistic one. It is possible to make no mistake and still lose. That is not a weakness. That is life. Sometimes you need to accept you did everything within your power right and it still went bad. And remember that this isn't something to beat yourself up over. These things happen. Edit. Holy hell, it blew up. I'm glad to see so many I needed to hear this comments. I know I needed to hear this the first time I saw this scene. This one is both harsh and comforting. People don't think about you as much as you think they do. That means that your feelings might be ignored or not considered. People will forget things about you and might not remember things you've done together that were very memorable for you. That can be hard to realize. On the other hand, they probably don't remember that embarrassing thing you did in high school, or they don't care about it. They notice patterns of behaviors more than occasional bad days that you have. So those times you feel bad about being off with someone, they probably don't think about them, unless they become frequent. Personally, I find that comforting. I thought I'd be happy when I graduated college, or when I got my first apartment, or when I bought my first home. Don't expect happiness to be at the finish line. Happiness comes from yourself, in the now. Enjoy the process so you don't have as many friends or family as you think. I have a chronic illness, and the number of people who bailed on me during my hardest times only to pop up, surprised I was upset with them. Once I started healing is truly disgusting. You've got a core few. Nurture those relationships like your life depends on it. Mine does. For most of us, work is a business transaction. You're trading your time for money. Your employer isn't your friend, father or mother. They owe you what they promised to give you in exchange for your time. That's it. If your work isn't fulfilling or making you happy, either spend your free time making yourself happy or work somewhere else. The few people who live in wealthiest countries in the world still struggle to find happiness. Stop wanting what other people have because it looks like it makes them happy. They aren't any happier or better than you because they have things. Finally, while these facts suck for most of us, the sooner you internalize them and shift your values, the better you will be. A lot of success comes down to luck. People can work extremely hard, do everything right, be the most qualified best person etc. and they get totally overlooked for someone else. A huge reason some people are winners and some people are losers is just straight up dumb fucking luck. When you've been married for 8 years and all of a sudden your wife wants an open marriage, it means she's already cheating on you but doesn't want to feel bad about it. The world does not owe you understanding. If you have traumas and mental health issues, it is not everyone else's job to tiptoe around you and tolerate bad behavior you refuse to address for yourself. Every single one of us is going to die and no amount of money, fame or power can change that. Just dead. Tossed into a hole or into a fire. Your family or friends will go through your things and keep the good crap and toss or sell the rest. In just a few generations, most people will be totally forgotten about as if they never existed. You need to work on yourself. Waking up early and being intentional about working on body, mind, and soul will not only change your life but those around you. Also, take care of yourself so your loved ones won't have to. This was a hard lesson for me to learn these past few weeks. I've literally been working myself to death to build a future for my family. Blood pressure was 186 out of 118, and I work out and eat healthy daily. My fiance, She's a nurse, made the comment along the lines of, "If you have a stroke, not only can you not provide for us, but we'll have to work extra to make up your loss of income and take care of you." Essentially, working myself to death for my family's future comfort would have effectively destroyed the future I was working for. Now I turn off after 12 hours on the clock and take one day off a week, and my BP is back to normal. Life is short. Shorter than you think, and you're not guaranteed a certain amount of time, and neither are your friends and family. If you're a young person, it will sneak up on you really fast. You won't do all the things or perhaps accomplish as much as you think you may. Don't waste too much time planning and daydreaming. It's never too early to just start working towards a goal of yours, and it's always a great day to just check something off your list rather than talking about it for another few years. It will be a decade before you realize it. Here comes some brutality that a lot of people, especially the chronically online people, aren't gonna like one bit. 1. You weren't abused every single time someone was less than nice to you. 2. Not everyone who's self-centered and emotionally immature is a narcissist. 3. Not everyone who lacks social skills and/or has quirks and sensory issues is autistic. 4. Your personal triggers are valid, but that doesn't mean everyone is responsible for them. 5. Pastel memes on Instagram are mostly telling you absolute bullshit. Not everyone who you don't like is rude, has a mental issues. Some people are just assholes, and some people just don't match your vibe. That's normal. The assholes suck, but you'll come across them no matter what. I'm a huge mental health advocate and have GAD, depression and ADHD myself, but people these days are very quick to label everything everyone. Mental illnesses are very real, but they're not applicable in every situation. Nor are they an excuse to act like shit. No one cares. And I mean that in a good way. No one really cares if you don't look your best today. No one cares if you said the wrong thing. People will forget and not hold it against you. No one cares what type of car you drive or if you can't afford the newest iPhone. Also, to the parents out there, no one really cares to hear your stories about your kids.